Development this morning at Oregon's largest private employer, Intel. The CEO, Pat Gelsinger, abruptly retired this morning. KGW's Pat Doris joins us now. And Pat, this latest news comes as the company faces significant challenges.
It certainly does. Intel employees are living right now through one of the roughest patches in recent history. Its stock is way down over the past 3 years. The company just laid off or gave early retirement to 2,600 workers in Oregon. And now the CEO, who had a grand plan for an Intel comeback, is out.
63-year-old Pat Gelsinger became Intel's CEO back in 2021. It was a triumphant return for the engineer who started at Intel in 1979 and steadily rose through the ranks for 30 years. He left Intel in 2012 and then returned to help right the company that missed the AI revolution in chips and fell behind competitors. Back then, he was undaunted.
As the incoming CEO, I am just really thrilled that we have the opportunity to take this great icon of a company, this company that has been crucial to every aspect of technology, and have it be that leader again into the future. Because I believe that Intel has a treasure trove of technologists, of technology, and ultimately its core DNA is being that technology leader for the future. And I'm just thrilled as a technologist, as a geek at heart, to be able to be in that leadership role to help bring the passions, the history, the opportunity of this great company forward as never before. Our best days are in front of us.
But the years since have been rough. Despite Gelsinger's optimism, the company continued to struggle. The stock price is down more than 50% this year alone, and Intel just cut 15,000 jobs worldwide to save money. Mike Rogaway is a business reporter for The Oregonian and follows Intel closely.
It's not shocking in the sense that everyone knew that things were tough at Intel. It was having a hard time. His turnaround plan hadn't delivered the results people anticipated.
Intel matters for a number of reasons, including that it's Oregon's largest private employer. The company estimates it contributes about $19 billion a year to Oregon's economy. It employs around 20,000 people, even after the layoffs and retirements. Rogaway says Intel's board apparently felt Gelsinger's plan was taking too long.
I mean, fundamentally, his strategy was built for a company with $75 to $100 billion in revenue, and because he'd committed to spend so much, up to $100 billion on new factories, that was going to take longer than he'd anticipated. Intel's revenues were declining, not increasing, even as his costs were increasing. So it just put him in an impossible squeeze. In the fullness of time, given enough time, perhaps that revenue could come back and his strategy could play out. Intel just didn't, the board evidently didn't feel they had that time.
Intel announced 2 senior leaders will lead the company while the board searches for a CEO. David Zinsner and Michelle Johnston Holthaus will serve as interim co-chief executive officers. Rogaway, the reporter, thinks that is an odd setup and that it signals the board may be ready to split Intel into 2 companies.
It certainly seems like they're in the process of separating the business. How quickly that will move and how formal the separation will be, it's hard to say, but it definitely seems like it's going that way.
And by the way, don't buy that nonsense that Pat Gelsinger retired. Bloomberg reported he was forced out by the board at a meeting last week. Bloomberg reports he was offered the choice, retire or be fired. So he took retirement. Back to you guys.
All right, Pat, thanks very much.